Hey guys, what is going on? It is Minitough and welcome to my tutorial of Open Broadcaster software. So I've had a lot of requests to do this video and people are like, what do you record with and how do you do it? What are your settings? And here you go. Let's do this video. So you can get Open Broadcaster software. I'm going to call it OBS from now on because it's a lot shorter. You can get OBS for free at obsproject.com. So just go ahead and download it from here. It's completely free, so there's no, you can try it out. If you don't like it, delete it, then boom, move on. But I like it. It's free. It does everything I want and then some. So here's the, the download link, and I'm using the latest version right here, but you can also grab the test build. So this one has some new features, some bug fixes, but I still like to grab the latest stable version. But you can always, if you're like really tech savvy, you can grab the test builds. But for my tutorial purposes, I'm going to be using the, the latest stable build. So go ahead and download that. And this is only available for Windows. There is not a Mac version yet, but he did say he wants to do one, but that's going to be a lot of, work and stuff. So there might be one coming, but I don't know. I wouldn't get your hopes up too high. If you're looking for something for Mac or Linux, just find something else for now. And then if you want OBS later, then if it comes out, then cool. But let's go ahead and start it up. Let's open it up. And I'm not going to show you how to install it. Like you shouldn't need help with that, but it's opening up on my second monitor over here. And I've got some scenes already set up. Just ignore these completely. This is my settings that I used to record with all the time. So we're going to ignore that for now. But first, let's get your settings so you have really good crystal clear quality, and then we'll work on the scenes and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully you should be able to zoom in on this. I'm using Camtasia to record, so this is not actual OBS quality right now, so just don't think that's that. So let's go into settings, or you can actually click settings right here. It's the same thing. So right here you can set your profile. So you can have as many profiles as you want. And the cool thing is, if you cancel this, you can go profiles, boom, you switch to your profiles. So boom, now I'm going to record in 720, now I'm going to record in 1080. And it saves my settings. So if you look at that, it even saves those settings. It's pretty beast. So let's go back to settings. So right now I'm editing file output 1080p. This is for 1080p outputting right now. And this video is mainly focused on recording. If you want to be streaming, I can sort of help you with that, but I haven't done it a lot. I've done it once with OBS. So, don't count on me too much for that one, but I can get you really crystal clear recording quality, and it's awesome. So let's go ahead and go down to encoding. This is the most important part, and this is for 1080p video recording. Now, if you look at YouTube's suggested stuff, they suggest a bitrate of 8,000 or 8 megabits, but 8,000 kilobits. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't look good enough. We're going for 15,000 right here. And I'll explain in a second, but first go ahead and change your quality to 10, set it to 10, no questions. You don't this thing always at 10. No reason why you shouldn't. People are like, oh, well, you can set it to 7 and it still looks good. No, 10, no questions. This video is for the absolute best quality you can get. You need to have a good computer to run this. You need to be able to know what you're doing and have a good computer, because I'm not looking for, oh man, I wonder if I can record 1080p at, 0 quality and 10. No. We're looking for the best stuff here. Only the best. Now, I have experimented with this a lot, and pretty much the bitrate is the higher the bitrate, the higher the quality, in sort of terms. But pretty much the higher this goes, the less pixelation you have. The lower this goes, the more pixelation you have. So YouTube suggests 8,000, and the buffer size, I have no idea what this does. I've done so much research. People say, well, set this to double your bitrate, set this to 0, set this to 10,000 billion things. I've heard a lot of things. I've even looked on the OBS forums. There is not a legit perfect answer out there. I would suggest leaving this at the same as your max bitrate. But how the bitrate actually works is when you record a video, it will go ahead and fluctuate the bitrate depending on how action sequenced you are. So if you're doing a really high, spinning around doing 360 no scopes, you want to have a higher bitrate than if you're just recording your screen. Like literally the only thing moving on my screen right now is this stuff over here and my mouse. I could run at a really low bitrate of like maybe 1,000 or maybe even lower, and it wouldn't make a difference because there's nothing really moving intense. But if I start recording like this, then yeah, I want a higher bitrate. But this is for general all-purpose. 15,000 looks the best. And the higher you up the bitrate, the higher the quality, but the bigger the file size. And the reason I like OBS is because it records really compressed. So you can just upload this file straight from OBS to YouTube because it records in an Mp4 format. And I'll explain that a bit later, but bitrate is the most important thing. This is what people have a lot of trouble on. If you are not uploading to YouTube and this is for your personal use, then I would go 20,000 here, because 20,000 looks perfectly crystal clear in my eyes, and like it looks really good. But when you upload it to YouTube, they do butcher the quality, they re-encode it. So that's why I do 15,000. Normally I would do 20,000, but YouTube buffers it a little bit and it looks worse. I could probably lower this to 10,000, but it's just I want to get the perfect quality I can. So just match my settings here. If you're doing 720p recording, then I would lower this probably down to 10,000 or maybe 8,000. So that's for 720. For 1080, just match my settings here. Alright, you guys, so I wanted to show you a little thing right here. Sorry for cutting in, by the way. This part is actually being recorded by OBS. It's going to be rendered in the same video, so it's not perfect quality, but it is recorded by OBS. So I wanted to show you this. So this is a video that was recorded by OBS. I'll show you the properties on it. It is 1.5 gigabytes, and the details, it is, you can see the data rate I recorded it at. I recorded this at 15,000 bitrate, and I can't really show you the length of it. Oh, there it is, 23 minutes. So I wanted to show you how the bitrate works a little bit more in depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search Bitrate Viewer. Bitrate. Can I spell bitrate? Oh my gosh. There it is. Bitrateviewer.exe. I will have these programs in the description if you want to check them out. So I'm going to press load, and I'm going to load, not that one, I want to load this one. And it's going to load, okay, that was pretty fast. But look how the bitrate fluctuates. The bitrate is not always going to be at its highest point. So you can see the max bitrate right here is 20,000. That is above my 15,000 limit. It's because it fluctuates depending on how much things are going on. So look, I'll show you. The beginning part right here of this video was very intense. The bitrate was very high. But at this point right here, let's see, about 17 minutes in, the video slowed down and it didn't need quite as high a bitrate to compensate. So let's go ahead and open the video, and let's see, this is my Hunger Games footage. So let's go ahead and skip to 17 minutes in here. So right about, let's see, right about here. Right about. Now let's see what I was doing at this time that wasn't very intense.
So to that island?
Yeah, turn that off. So it looks like I was doing a lot of swimming in water, and there's not very many things that are rendered out here. So the video didn't need such a high bitrate to just go ahead and go crazy. But you can see at the very beginning where I was doing all my craziness right here, like it was very, high intensiveness on the bitrate. So that's kind of how it works in a nutshell. So the max bitrate is your average bitrate. It's like where it can go at the highest, but it can still go higher, and it's going to be a lot lower at some points in time. So I hope that makes somewhat of sense. So yeah, let's go ahead and cut back. For audio, AAC all the time. Don't even mess with MP4. AAC sounds perfect, clear, great. Bitrate 320. The reason why I do such high, you won't notice a difference between like any of these, but I do it because, all right, really, what's 320 compared to 15,000 here? It's gonna sound amazing, and you're not killing your computer by putting it at 320. It's just not doing any like major damage there. So 320 because I can. Normally I would recommend anything above 128. 128, you will notice a difference between 128 and 192. Don't mess with these unless you're, don't. Just keep it above 128 and you'll be good. So I hope that makes sense. I'm kind of going through this fast because this video will get kind of long. So this is where you choose if you are live streaming or not. So right now I have to file output because I'm gonna be file outputting here. If you want to do a live stream, you go ahead and choose your streaming service. Let's go Twitch. You choose your, I don't want to go into this, it's technical, but you choose, your server here, and you want to choose the one with the least ping. You can download a program called JTV Ping. It will give you the one with the lowest ping. Paste your server, stream key here. Disable this because I don't like it. What will happen is if you are disconnected from your stream and like you stop, your internet dies, it will automatically reconnect in 10 seconds. But okay, why would you, I like to know what's going on with my stream. I don't want it automatically doing stuff. I just like to, have everything going on. So, and you can choose the stream delay here. So if you're playing like Call of Duty and you've got a lot of people joining in your stream and killing you because they see exactly where you are, set this thing to like 60 seconds. So the stream is a 60-second delay from when you're actually streaming it, so nobody can, go spawn kill you or something like that. I don't know what this does. Your dashboard link, this is pretty much the link that will be copied to your clipboard when you start streaming. So you can just go ahead and paste your dashboard link or whatever. If you want to record at the same time you're streaming, you can choose this, and then you can choose the file path. And you can set the stream hotkey. I have mine to number pad 0. I'm going through this fast because you should know what some of this stuff does, okay? If you're a hardcore, you know, if you know what videos are and stuff like that, then you should understand what this is. So now let's go ahead and browse for wherever you want your video to be saved to. Let's do desktop, all right? And you're gonna need to name the actual video file. For instance, I can't say put it to my desktop, save. You can't. You have to name it. So let's just name, or if I can spell it right. So you just save it wherever you want. I like mine in my second hard drive, but you can put it to your desktop, whatever. I'm not going to save those settings. So video, you always want your base resolution right here to be the size of your monitor. And you're going to have a lot of trouble recording with OBS if your monitor isn't a 16:9 resolution. So if your monitor isn't one of these resolutions right here, then, you know, one of these or this one, then you're going to have a lot of trouble. You're going to get letterboxing and stuff like that. So you want to have a monitor that is a 16:9 resolution. I would only recommend a 1080p monitor. Don't get a 720p monitor. I don't even know if they have those. But get a 1080p monitor so you can do your hardcore recording. And you can choose to record monitor 1, but just why wouldn't you? And then this is resolution downscale. So this is the physical, you know, resolution you'll be recording at. So you can record at 720 by choosing 720. So it's going to downscale it to 720, and yeah, that's that. But I record at 1080p, so I choose none. Your FPS here, this is the FPS you will record at. And I record at 30 FPS because YouTube uploads at 30 FPS. You can't upload higher than 30 FPS on YouTube at the moment. And I would do like 60, but that would kill my computer. My file sizes would be huge, and I don't want to deal with that. I've been doing 29.97 for forever, and so 30 FPS is good. You can do whatever you want, but I would really strongly recommend 30. And disable arrow at startup. Please check this if you want to. All right, I know it looks ugly with this. You know, my theme is black, and I've got a blue taskbar, but it's not going to work if you don't disable this. If you're on Windows 8, don't worry. But if you're on Windows 7 or below, you need to disable this. You will lag to poop in games. It will not work. I've tried it. I have a beast of a computer, GTX 680, Core i7 3770K, overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM. You can't do it. It's impossible. Disable this. Don't go through the headaches of trying to figure out what it is. Now, your desktop audio device, this is your speakers. You want to choose your speakers here, because, you know, you don't want to be recording your, you know, whatever this stuff is. Just, this is the desktop audio. So what is being pushed out to you, it's also going to record. So whatever your speakers are playing is what also is going to be recorded here. So you want to choose your speakers. You might need to play around with this, but just go ahead and do that. And your microphone, very straightforward. Choose your microphone here. I have a couple different microphones here, but actually the only one I actually have is my webcam microphone. But choose your microphone, and you can use a push to talk key. If it says none here, it's not really none, it's just you can't talk. But pretty much it will not, the mic will actually be recording and won't actually be on unless you're pushing this key. So for instance, unless I'm pressing number pad 7, my mic will not be recording. So just go ahead and make sure you have this off for reasons. I don't know why you would use this, but I guess you could. Unmute mic hotkey, and, you know, unmute desktop and mute. So pretty much what this will do is if you press this hotkey, your mic will be muted, and if you press it again, your mic will be unmuted. You can do that. I have an actual physical button on my mic, my Blue Yeti. I can just push that instead of pushing a hotkey. So this is just if you want to mute your, you know, someone walks in like, James, it's time for dinner. You can go ahead and press mute so you don't have to hear that whole conversation. So you can do that. You can mute your desktop. So if some, I don't know, Skype call comes on your desktop, you can go ahead and press a button, mute that call, and just press it again, and the audio will be back. Force your microphone auxiliary to mono. Mono means it's one. So I don't know if this is going to mean one ear or whatnot. I haven't tested this, but pretty much, here, I'll try to demonstrate. I'm recording at stereo, so if I move around my mic like this, you can hear the difference. But if I'm recording at mono, it'll sound exactly the same. So you won't be able to tell if I'm on one side or the other. I'll just sound in the center. I like my stereo because it just sounds more realistic to me. So that's what I like. You can do this if you want, though it's not a bad choice. Mic auxiliary boost multiple. I have no idea what this means. I would leave it at 1. And mic offset time. This is going to delay your mic input. So the reason I have this set at 150 milliseconds is because my face cam is a little bit delayed. So if I had this set at 0 and my face cam was on right here, you would actually see my audio coming out 150 milliseconds faster than my face cam. So my audio would be way out of sync. I use this because it matches it up a lot better, and it sounds more realistic if your audio is coming out at the same time. You're gonna have to play around with this. 150 is not universal. It depends on your face cam and whatnot. If you're not using a face cam, set this to 0. Just don't deal with that. But if you're using a face cam, you're gonna have to play around with this. What I did to figure this out was I did a recording and I had it set to 0. I put it into Adobe Premiere and I clapped in the recording. And I put it in Adobe Premiere and I looked at, when my actual physical audio clap was based on when my hands hit on the video. So you're going to have to play around with that, but go ahead and test it out yourself. Advanced. No, I don't want to save. Use multi-threaded optimizations. If you don't have a computer that's multi-threaded, I wouldn't even recommend OBS for you. It's a very CPU intensive application, so always have this checked no matter what. Process priority class. You want to keep this at normal unless you are recording from a computer, unless you're gaming on an Xbox and you're only using OBS to capture, then that's okay. But what this is going to do is it will set OBS as a higher process than any other application. So if I'm recording Minecraft, it's going to say, all right, give more resources to OBS than Minecraft, and it will make Minecraft lag for you. So I would keep this at normal. Don't lower this. It's not going to really help anything, but do that. I just like it at normal. It works for me fine. These two, I could tell you what they mean, but there's no reason. One of these is, I think this is constant frame rate and constant bit rate. I think, don't quote me on that. I know one of these is constant bit rate, but that will mean that you are always recording at the bit rate that you set here. So, if I just sit here and do this, my bit rate is going to be very low and my file size will be very low. But if I have constant bit rate enabled, then it's going to always be doing 15,000 or whatever you set it to, and your file sizes are going to be big. So I would just recommend keeping these off. And I skipped this. This is very important. I'll get back to that. Use custom x.264 encoder settings. Unless you're very advanced, I wouldn't touch this, okay? I know there are some things that are very, very useful here. I don't know them, but I don't know them, so I would just avoid that. Allow 61 to 100 FPS in video settings. If you check this, it's going to let you go over 60. So I can go to 60, but I won't be able to go to 61 in this setting. It just won't let you. So if you want to enable that, then you can choose this. I don't, because there's no point never going over 60. It really doesn't. I don't even know why it does just always allow you, but that's kind of weird. Audio. Use higher quality resampling. I always have this on because I heard the words higher quality and I checked it. And I didn't notice any lag increase or anything that was bad, so I'm using it. So there you go. Force audio to sync with video. I tried this to sync up my webcam with the mic. It didn't work for me, so I didn't mess with that, okay? Global offset time. So this is going to offset all of the audio. Remember back here, this was just offsetting my mic. So this would offset my game audio and my microphone right here. And network, I have no idea what this means. I don't even know, man. So just, yeah, I would just, I don't know. Right, this is very important right here. This pretty much says, here it is, setting this value higher reduces CPU usage by sacrificing certain aspects of quality. On the other hand, setting this value lower increases the quality, but at the cost of more CPU. In layman's terms, the higher you set this, it's confusing. The higher this is, so if I go to ultra fast, this thing is going to be using very little of my computer CPU. You can look at my CPU usage here, by the way. I'm using 1% right now. But you can look at my CPU usage, and it will be a lot lower when recording on ultra fast, so this will mean you will lag less, but the quality is not going to look as crystal clear. So, yeah, it's kind of confusing. I recommend leaving it very fast. If you don't lag at all, put this thing down to faster. Try it out, because if you make this slow, you can't run it at slow. I don't care what computer you have, you won't be able to do slow or medium, or maybe medium, but seriously, this thing will kill your computer if you are trying to play a game and record at the same time. It's very CPU intensive. Seriously, this thing is like, don't underestimate this, man. So I thought I could do it. I have a Core i7 overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz, water cooled. No, I can't even I can't even lower this thing. I get about 40 to 50% CPU usage when I am on very fast and recording. But when I drop this thing down to faster, I'll go up to like 80, and then I start to lag a bit. So I would just be a little bit careful about that. Try it, see what you get, and then you can mess around with it at your will. But again, you need a good computer to be doing a recording like that. There is your settings. All right, so now you've got that configured. You got your profile on, so go to your profile that you want to change. Excuse me. And then you're like, okay, this is cool. I don't see anything. Wow, that's great. Go ahead and press preview stream. Then it's going to actually grab your stream. Like I'll go ahead and go to solo game right here. This is just my desktop. So I know you get some weird glitchiness. Like you see that? That's actually just part of the window. But right now, I have my scenes set up. So you can't see anything if you have preview off. Okay? So make sure you have preview on. And you're going to want to add a scene here. So your scenes is pretty much your certain scenes. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really cool though. So in game, this is how I switch between my poll question, my face cam, and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and show you. I got my end poll, which there's no poll question right now. I've got my poll results, which shows me in the dark, and yeah, they're normally poll right here. I got just my face cam only, which if it would switch, don't freeze up on me now, baby. Not respond. So pretty much, I have it set to this, and wow, it's really dark in here, but cool. My full scene, this is what I normally record on a black screen. The reason I have a black screen is I press 0 to start recording, then I go from my black screen here, and that's how I add my fade in. Fade in like that. And I have these each set to a hotkey, so the number in front is the hotkey that it is on right now. So I press 9 to go to face cam, 4 to go to poll results, 5 for solo game, and so on. So to set this, let's go ahead and right click in here. This is where your scenes are located. You right click, add scene. Let's name this tutorial. I can't spell. Press OK. And now it's going to be completely black. There's nothing in there. So let's go ahead and add a source. Your sources are what's actually in there. So let's take a look at my full scene. I got my graphics. Otherwise, it's ugly. Got my face cam. Otherwise, that's weird. And I got my desktop. Otherwise, it's just that. I hope that makes sense. It's like layers. It's just like editing. I hope you can. But let's go down to tutorial. And let's add my face cam template. So you go add image. It's an image. You can name it what you want. So I'll just call this my graphic. Press OK, and go ahead and browse for it. So let's go into my shortcut, YouTube stuff, open broadcast. Oh no, none in there. Other stuff, face cam template. I've got a lot of stuff in here. Face cam, and use this one. All right, and you can choose the color. I've never messed with this before, but yeah, I don't know. I've never used this, but you can change the opacity and check for file changes. I don't know what this does, but I've left this off, and what I think this would do is it would say, all right, you changed this file, this name, template 640 by 480 smaller.png is changed. I'm going to automatically refresh it when that was checked, but I have it non-checked, and it already does that, so I don't know what it does. And opacity, if you don't know what that is, then yep. It just kind of makes it fade in and out a little bit. So if it's 100%, it's going to be crystal clear right there. If you do 1%, you're barely going to see it. It's going to be really faded in. Let's press OK. And it should automatically, I have mine at exactly 1080p resolution, so it's going to do that. But if it's not, let's say it looks like this. I'm like, I can't record like that. Okay, that's fine. You're like, I can't do it. Go ahead and press edit scene. And what this will do is it will allow you to edit whatever is on your screen. So, you can go and click there, move it around. And automatically it's going to snap into corners. If you hold down control, it will, see how it's snapping into the corner. I'm holding down control and I can move it wherever I want. In this case, I want it to snap into the corner because that's good. You can drag them, and you can't see how the aspect ratio is not breaking. It's perfect. If you hold down shift lets you break the aspect ratio, so I could have it like this. And like, yeah, that's totally cool. But if you hold down shift, it lets you break the aspect ratio, so you can do that. Just, I don't, you know, I know there are points when you need this, but just letting you know these cool shortcuts. So let's go ahead and add my face cam, okay? And I'm going to show you what global sources do. Global sources are things that are always loaded into memory. So I'll show you what I have for global source. I have my desktop and face cam, and I'll give you a perfect example right here. So let's go ahead into my full scene, or my black screen. Notice how I have my face cam here. And if I turn this, if I delete this, my face cam is just in here. It doesn't really matter where it is. But if I delete this, so let's go ahead and remove this. Yes, my face cam is not actually on right now. So if I start recording and I switch to this, normally you would see this face cam pop in because it wasn't on, because it's not actually needing to be switched to. I can't explain that very well, but pretty much if it's not in global sources, it's not going to be loaded up in the background. That's why OBS is very good at preserving system resources. So I'm going to go ahead and add my face cam back in here. So global source face cam. There you go. Ew, don't look at me. Don't look at me. So you can go ahead and move down like that. You can use the layer system, so you can go add, you know, you can remove, move up, move down, which is, you know, your, I guess you call it, ew, look at it. Oh, there you go, that's good. Move down, so like that. And I believe, let's go ahead and move up. Aha, there you go. Move up. Here we go. I'll show you this. And see how I moved it up? I don't, oh no, it's gone, it's gone. Well, right click, position size, reset size. That's going to reset that. Position size, center. So you can always grab it back where you want it. So let's say I make myself really squishy. Oh yeah, like squishy and stuff. So you can go ahead and right click, position size, and reset size. So it's always going to set it back to, in case you screw something up. Get my ugly face out of there. And sorry about the darkness. I didn't turn on my lights because I'm lazy. So you got that, okay? And I got my face cam disabled because it uses less resources. So what a global source is... Did I spell tutorial? I spelled tutorial wrong. Yeah. But global source is something that is always loaded in the background. So you want to use that so for only really important things. You don't want everything to be a global source because then it's always using that resource. So you can add a global source like normal, you know, just like normal. So I'm not going to show you all the features here, but let's see. You can go ahead and add, you can go to properties of your thing. So you can go desktop, properties. You can enable monitor capture, window capture. So a window will capture this, like say I wanted to capture Audacity. Let's do that, okay? Let me go ahead and exit this. I'm using Audacity right now to actually, you know, record my audio because it sounds better than Camtasia. So I'll go ahead and add a software capture. Press OK, and let's go ahead and go to window capture, Audacity, inner window, entire window. I'll show you what this means in a second. Capture, mouse layer, capture mouse cursor, capture layer windows, don't have that on. And you can use color key in here. Pretty sweet. There you go. There is my Audacity recording my audio as we speak. And the cool thing is you can go ahead and go in here and you can go properties. And you see how it's got my entire window, right? Like you can see everything. Well, if I choose inner window and press OK, it's only capturing the inner window. You don't see the X button or anything. It's really cool. So I like that feature. So if you want to capture a game that's windowed, you can choose inner window so you don't see the stupid X thing. Man, I hate when people do that. So there's that. And yes, I want to remove that. So that's pretty much the basics here. You got your average plugins, but these plugins, I downloaded this one. But you can grab your plugins and stuff. I'll show you how to use game capture. So let's say, let's go ahead and launch Castle Crashers here. And I'll show you what I mean. So let me just launch this thing. Okay, I've got Castle Crashers open down there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to add game capture. And let's name this Castle Crashers. And let's see. We've got, where are we at Castle Crashers? There we go, Castle Crashers. Stretch image to fit screen. This will just completely change, you know, stretch the image to fit the screen. You can choose ignore aspect ratio, include mouse cursor, invert cursor on click. That's so annoying. It'll change, like if I click, it'll change my cursor to black because it's saying I'm clicking. It's annoying. But now you can press OK. I'm going to stretch to fit screen because that's cool. And my game is not actually like running in the background right now. You can't really see it. There you go. Okay, that's Castle Crashers right there, and that's actually just a picture because when I minimize the game, it freezes it. But there you go. You can capture games and really simply. So let's move this down. Boom. And then I can put my face cam in. Let's add, let's see, let's go to video capture device. Let's call this face cam. Bam, this video is really long, but I don't care. Logitech Pro, that's my webcam. And we can go ahead and configure those settings, and yeah, that's just really crazy. I don't want to mess with that. You can flip the image, opacity, use color key, resolution downscale. I've got no sound because my sound is coming from my mic, my actual mic. Add that. Global source already exists, okay? You can't add a global source in that. So let's go ahead and add global source, my face cam. All right, there's my ugly face. Now all we got to do is move this and center it on the screen. So ploppity plop. Put that in, and you move it in, and then you hold down Control so you don't snap, because that was really annoying. And get it on perfect. There you have it. Now all you got to do is move this down. Boom! You've just created your own scene. It's really, really easy. And that's pretty much it, guys. But if you want to start recording, you go ahead and press your hotkey, or you can press, start streaming right now, and this will stream whatever profile you set up. So you can't stream and I don't know why you can't do this, but you can't stream and preview at the same time. And don't let that confuse you. You can, but you can't actually start streaming from the preview window. So when you press start streaming, let's go ahead and press start streaming. It's actually streaming and you're previewing it right now. I'm actually recording. If I was to do something, I don't know, maybe, let's see, let's go ahead and remove my Castle Crashers and add my global source for desktop and move this down. No, move it down one more. And you can actually see that, I'm recording my desktop, and that's that. So everything's, recording and it's fine. And you can see my CPU usage has spiked up a bit, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and press stop streaming. It'll stop recording, or you can do a nice fade out by pressing 7 to go to your black screen, which I've set it up like that, but you can set it up however you want, but you can do fade outs like I do. You switch to your black screen, boom, then you stop recording. It's going to build the Mp4. Go ahead and quit out OBS, and I'll show you. I saved my stuff to YouTube stuff, open broadcasting software. There we go, vid.mp4, 39 seconds, 1920 by 1080, and it is full, 4.58 megabytes. And there you go, I'll prove it. This is good quality right here. Good quality stuff. I don't know if I can do full screen on this, but let me actually get to where I added in. There you go. See it? And you can hear it, but it's just not playing right. And one thing I will show you, if you're going to upload this directly to YouTube, poop it on YouTube, you're not going to want to do it straight from OBS with a little thing. I'm going to show you. This is pretty beast. I'm going to close this, by the way. You want to actually go ahead and download Mp4 Fast... Steam, go away. Mp4 Fast Start. And what this will do is it will change your video to Fast Start. It's not going to change the video at all. It's going to move some metadata from the back to the front, because when you upload a YouTube video, it's going to see, okay, well, what kind of resolution is this video? What is the details of this video? Normally, when you record an MP4, it puts it in the back. So YouTube has to upload the entire video before it can process it. So what this is going to do, it's going to grab that data from the back, move it to the front, so YouTube can process as you're uploading. It's really cool. So what you want to do is press open folder, navigate to wherever you saved, your video. So mine's in YouTube or Windows Storage YouTube stuff. Press OK. It's going to see, oh, wait, did I do that wrong? Oops, yeah, I did that wrong. YouTube stuff and open broadcaster. Okay, there we go. My vid.mp4. This is this video. I can rename it. I'll prove it. Oops. There we go. Tut. Oh my gosh. You really want to play that game? Tut.mp4. Tut.mp4. There we go. There you go. See, it should refresh. I'll have to go back to it though, but I'll prove it that it's... There you go. Tut.mp4. All you have to do is click on it. This program is not the best, but it's the only one I found that works. So you click on it and press Make Fast Start. And it's done. That's it. If you have a big video here, it will look like it's not doing anything. But it is, trust me. So now this video is ready to be uploaded to YouTube. You can go ahead and upload it just like that. And voila, you have done it. So it already changed this video. It moved some metadata from the very back of it to the very front of it. Now YouTube can process as it's uploading. So that is that, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed my OBS tutorial. If you want me to go more in depth and maybe cover some live streaming features, then go ahead and leave me a comment below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, do all the stuff you need to do. But that's that. And if you want an XSplit tutorial, I can't believe I'm saying this in an OBS video, but if you want an XSplit tutorial, then go ahead and comment that, because I know XSplit is popular. I want to get more people using this program because it's awesome and it's free and it's got so much support and a great community around it, and it just works. Like, freaking XSplit doesn't do some of the things that this does. Like, I can't record at over 14,000 bitrate, and this can go up to like whatever you want. So yeah, it's pretty awesome, guys. I would recommend you check it out. It's free. Do it, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm sorry if this is really long, but this is for those people who really want to know how to record using OBS. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.